This video will be spoiler free, but do not look at the comment section as I'll be answering any spoiler questions and putting in more info that is not spoiler free. With that out the way, this video will be covering the release order way of playing the Kingdom Hearts series, with some exceptions. Also my recommendations as to which versions should be played. As of June 2023, there are 14 entries in the Kingdom Hearts series, with the 15th one on the way. With that many games in the series and multiple versions of specific titles, a lot of confusion can arise of how to correctly get the full experience. In North America, the first 3 games can be played on PS2, but I heavily do not recommend it. The reason is because the games we got in North America are not the complete experience. For Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, there would later be newer versions released for the games in Japan, called Kingdom Hearts Final Mix and Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. To make it simple, Final Mix is the base game with DLC and quality of life. Just to list some of what was added in the first Final Mix: new cutscenes, improved controls, new abilities, new weapons, new enemies, new secret bosses, and a new secret ending. Don't worry though, the ports for PS3 and onwards include the Final Mix versions. Getting the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix is in my opinion the best way to experience the series. The game can be played on Epic Games, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and Nintendo Switch. I myself played majority of the series on PS4 and finished the last few entries on PS5. I have watched people play on Epic Games and Xbox One. For the first game, Epic Games seemed a little buggy but nothing major, and Xbox seemed the same as PS4. Switch on the other hand, I highly recommend not playing the series on there. It is a cloud version of the game, meaning it is being streamed to your Switch and using your Wi-Fi to play the game. As you progress through the series, your Switch will not be able to consistently run the game. It just can't handle it. I would show clips of the terrible frame rate, but I want to keep this video spoiler free. So Epic Games, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X are your best options. Before I go over the order, I want to go over some very important points that you should take with you as you play through the series. I've heard many say that the story of this game is confusing. If you don't skip any games and fully play through them, you will not be confused. All of the games in the series are canon and important to the story. Another thing is, in certain games you get these reports going over certain lore in the game. After you finish each game, learn how to unlock all of these reports and read them all. Also, I recommend unlocking all the secret endings for the games that have them. I will make future videos on how to do it without spoiling. This next point you don't have to do, but I recommend playing all the games in their hardest difficulty. Playing in the hardest difficulty makes it easier for you to unlock the secret endings and makes you learn the mechanics of the game and really appreciate the combat. For the first game, Kingdom Hearts 1. For the second game, Re-Chain of Memories. Re just means remake because it originally came out on Game Boy in between 1 and 2, which was then remade for PS2. The third, Kingdom Hearts 2. For the fourth game, 358 over 2 days. This game originally came out on DS and was then put in the collection as a movie with all the gameplay removed from it. The movie does a good job at covering the game's story with some minor things removed. If you want to play the game on DS and get the full experience, you can do that. The gameplay is very repetitive and meh. Either option is fine, but I recommend watching the movie, and if you'd enjoyed it enough, check the game out if you want. Okay, for the next 2 games, this is where the exception comes in. Technically, Coded came before Birth by Sleep in the form of a mobile game, but it was later remade into a DS game. I highly recommend playing Birth by Sleep before Recoded, because when the game Coded was made into Recoded for the DS, it came out after Birth by Sleep and included cutscenes that work off the context of Birth by Sleep and spoiling certain plot points. So it would be best to play Birth by Sleep as the 5th game. 6th, Recoded, which like 358 over 2 days is just a movie with all the gameplay removed. I highly recommend never playing that game. It is by far the worst gameplay in the series. The movie fully covers the game and you don't miss anything. At this point, you have fully completed the first collection of games and are now ready for the next collection. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. For the 7th game, Dream Drop Distance. 8th and 9th is a mobile game that is now combined into one, called Union. Go to the App Store and download Kingdom Hearts U X Dark Road. It is no longer functional as a game anymore and only exists as a theater mode for all the cutscenes. Whatever you do, do not customize your character. It will spoil you on future installments, as weird as that sounds. I will provide a link in the description going over what order the cutscenes go. Technically, you don't have to watch the Disney World cutscenes, as they aren't plot important and would take you much longer to finish the game, but you can if you want. If you do choose to skip the Disney Worlds, there is one Disney World that is very important to the story that you must watch. I will pin comment which world it is. Just follow the list and you'll be fine. Release order wise, some of those cutscenes came years later, which would mean going by release order you would need to play certain installments before watching them. But you'll be fine. I fully watched the Union cutscenes before going to the next game, and there was no issues. But if that is something that bothers you, you can search up the date of the cutscenes. But for this video, I recommend fully watching it before going to the next game. 10th is Back Cover, which is a movie briefly going over certain moments in the mobile game. 11th, 0.2, a fragmentary passage. When I first played this game, my OG PS4 could not run it. I assume Kingdom Hearts 3 will act the same as both are made with the same engine. If you have a newer version of the console, you should be fine. It was really bad for me and I made the decision to play the rest of the series on PS5. You are now done with the second collection of games. For the 12th game, Kingdom Hearts 3. After you fully finish the main game, you should then purchase the DLC Remind and then fully play through that. 13th, Dark Road. This is a mobile game that is included in the app you played Union on. The gameplay is still functional for this game, but very bad and unfun. If you don't want to play the game, I will put a link in the description for all the cutscenes. 14th, Melody of Memory. As of the making of this video, this is the last installment of the series, and there's a mobile game in the works called Missing Link. I plan to make more Kingdom Hearts videos in the future, so if that interests you, subscribe to get notified when the next one drops. Also follow me on Twitch to see me streaming the game or something unrelated. Bye, love you, God bless.